Yeah, but we're going over this video. It says the good, the bad, and the ugly. It doesn't sound like you've done the forum the full 5 days, so I'm not sure how you could say any of those, but um, maybe I'll be incorrect on that, and you will have done the forum, and I'll be able to tell that shortly. So let's see.
Do have a degree in chemistry, biochemistry, and I went to
You have a degree in chemistry and biochemistry, and you are judging ontology. Got it. If you haven't done the Former Advanced course, two best things I've ever done. They're 902 5-day courses, 915 bucks each, included in the first 5 days. The 915 before discounts, by the way, is a 10 session seminar series. And I don't work for them. I don't represent them. I have nothing to do with them. I don't even take their courses anymore. You're watching Contra down on this side. And I'll take a listen. I was
further school.
first upset is going to be that they don't tell you where they got their ideas from. Um, so the first one he's going to say is Allegory of the Cave, and it's like yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have a different I see the Allegory of the Cave and how it acts in real everyday life after doing the forum. I understood the allegory of the cave prior. I don't know. I did the form right after college, so I don't know if I would have, and I'm 42, and I wouldn't have been able to, I don't know if I would have been able to see it the exact same way. But anyway, they pull from like hundreds of different disciplines. They pull from Buddhism, they pull from, I guess, allegory of the cave, you could say, although maybe it's just the allegory of the cave in action, and they didn't actually use that as a reference for what they're going over. But he'll touch on that. And yeah, I mean, if I bring together a ton of different books and then share them with people, like as long as I'm not breaking the law or breaking a trademark or something, then I don't, as a private company, I don't have to tell you, oh, I read this book and this is where I got this information from. Like that just adds something that makes me feel like I have to then go out and read a book. I just paid 915 bucks to go to a 5-day course where I could just listen if I wanted to, but I don't have to participate is what I mean. Um, and now you're telling me I got to go now read a book. It's like, okay, we don't need to cover every single bibliography of everywhere we got stuff from. If it works, it works. If it's been working over the last 55 years, it works just as good in Los Angeles as it does in New York, as it does in Dallas, Texas, as it does in Australia, as it does everywhere.
Postgraduate. So those are the lenses in which I see the content. So here we go. They have broken down in day one, day two, day three, and then the evening class usually on a Tuesday.
So when I say 5 days, this is what I mean. So there's that this is a Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So there's that Monday in between where you go out and take this already always listening, for example, and utilize that in my real work life or home life or wherever it is. Um, friends. And then the Tuesday evening. So it's not really 5 days, it's 3 full days, a day off, and then an evening session of 4 or 5 hours maximum. I think it's 3.5, I don't know. And so yeah,
Um,
hidden power
in
context.
each of these sections, I'll try to get a little bit descriptive about what they're talking about, and I'll try to
This is another one of the conversations that I get to take with me for the rest of my life, the hidden power of context, the vicious circle. So I did one 5-day course and I get to have these tools and skill sets of where to go. Like I'm in the middle of an argument and I can just stop and take full responsibility for something where it was out and just restore that relationship so there is no more argument. There's actually you want this and I want that, and here's a way where you could have that and I could have what I want, and everybody's happy. And there's no point in because you told me you wanted X and I'm giving you X. So in any event, tools that I can use, and I don't have to use these tools, right? I could just keep on arguing. I just pretty much know that it never really ends in anything.
for where that content came from. One of the things that I found a little disturbing, although the content is meritorious
Although it's
and credible.
meritorious.
They really never, ever talk about where they got it. At the very beginning of Landmark, they'll talk about
Yeah, I mean, if someone asks a question like, "Oh, isn't this from Buddhism?" Absolutely, they would say we pull from a lot of places. So it's not like they're hiding that stuff or anything.
this particular subject matter. And basically, it talks about making you aware that you know certain things and you know that you know about that subject matter. And there are things that you don't know. And so therefore you may want to learn. But the key point here is they talk about
I mean, this is a if you take reality and lay it over this is not an accurate. This is just so that he made it out so that you could see it. You know that you know that. I mean, this pie, when you think about all the world's knowledge, I mean, this section of the pie right here would be a sliver. It'd be, I mean, how much of the percentage of the all the world's knowledge do you know? What 0.0001%? I mean, come on, it's just like it's infinite, right? So it's
the things you don't know that you don't know.
in fact, you probably wouldn't even see this sliver. It'd be so thin.
You don't even, in this case, you don't even know you have a blind spot. Okay, so here you know what you know, it's visible, and here you know that you have a blind spot, and but so you can turn your head, look it up, read about it, and so on and so forth. But here in this area is what they're trying to let you see, and you can just see the look on people's face because it's also new to them, and they're like, they have aha.
Yeah, they're not trying to let you see that. They are showing it, and people can see it or not.
Movement. It's not like a paradigm shift, basically. They've never heard of this before until now. Well, the thing that bothers me is this content is very, very, very good material. But the truth of the matter is they never talk about where they got it. They think they brewed it up themselves and it's original Landmark content.
No, they don't think that they grew it up themselves. I mean, at some point, didn't you see that we would want to take the volumes and volumes of knowledge that's already published and share that with everybody? I mean, these things back in the day when we had before the printing press or at the beginning of the printing press, they weren't highly marketed. I mean, right now is the only time when we have this stuff actually read aloud, put online for free on YouTube. And most of the world's knowledge is not recorded out loud on YouTube. It's written in a paper or in someone's head, and you would have to pick up that physical dictionary in that other language to fully learn that language. Um, no, they would absolutely understand that where a source of the source of this stuff was that. But then again, a source of the source of the source of the source of a lot of 20th century philosophy, for example, came from the Bible. So do all of those writers and authors throughout a century of time have to say that they're getting it out of the Bible? Some of them do say they got it out of the Bible. But just because you say, you shouldn't kill people or lie to people doesn't mean you have to say, well, I got that out of the Bible. Like, here's the reference and here's the verse. No, they don't have to do that. They just write what they write, and they're not passing it off as their own. They're just not plagiarizing somebody else.
And in the next section here, I'll talk about the allegory of the cave by Plato. And this is where it all originated from. So if you have the time, go ahead and read this. And
I mean, if you look at the Matrix, it's pretty much the allegory of the cave. You know what I mean? Nowhere in any of the literature, the book, or the movie are you going to see anything about allegory of the cave in relation to the Matrix, but it's the exact same story. I mean, tons of stories are just repeated, like with different characters or different genders or whatever it is. If you haven't read this, great read.
another good reference material about knowing what you don't know or not knowing what you don't know is again Socrates. So there it is. And if you look under there, you have Plato. So
Yeah, look, I mean, no one is making money off of Socrates's teachings right now. Nobody has a trademark or a patent over what Socrates said. But don't you want people sharing about Socrates? You want to just go on having people be ignorant and not know about the writings of Socrates or Plato? I mean, it's just nonsense. And now this company and tons of its employees can all make money. People can get the real meaning behind these books, right? We learned about them in school. Knock wood, you did. Um, we don't learn how to utilize these teachings within our life at school, and maybe a little bit you do, but there's no direct action taken. Okay, now that you read this book, now that you learned this new thing, go take this action. That's what the forums plan
So,
paired up with.
if people want to learn more about this material, it's all in the internet. You don't have
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to look up all of their where did this idea come from? You can totally do that. You're free to do that. And that seemingly has not made the difference that has made the difference on the planet. Just because all these books are written, we don't have world peace. You don't have everything that you want in life right now. So how can you can't just read these books and get exactly what you want because that hasn't happened for millennia. I mean, we've had the Bible for how long? It hasn't caused world peace. You know what I mean?
to pay a lot of money to get it.
Yeah, no, it's a lot more than that. You are getting every penny, every penny you spend is far worth. I would have paid a million times more. Um, People spend a lot of money to become enlightened, and then they pass and they are still suffering and dealing with something that happened when they were 12, 15, 25, whatever. Um, So yeah, if you want to try to do it on your own, that's fine. But I don't know anybody that's ever been enlightened on their own. They did it with other people. Exists in a conversation.
So, but at this time, I'm going to switch gears and not cover every individual line item here, but basically tell you give you references where their material has been borrowed from. Now,
And this is so wild. So this is this guy telling us, oh, well, if you didn't know where this, I don't know if I can do this. If you didn't know where this stuff came from, here, I'm going to show you where this stuff came from. So you are saying that without listening to 60 hours of content, you already know everything that's in the forum based on the syllabus and then looking up where the stuff came from in the syllabus. So you're saying that you know it all without doing it. So that is literally the don't know that you don't know. There's something there. There's stuff there that you don't know where this stuff came from. And then there's that whole other realm that you're not dealing in because you're not dealing in that world. You could pretend to dealing in that world, but comment below how to get to what you don't know that you don't know. You're not gonna be able to get there because you don't know that you don't know it. It's like it was never there. But that's
if
what
you
the
look
form
under
would have.
Buddhism and Hinduism, specifically Krishna, the Bhagavad Gita, there are things in here that they talk about. There are no clear right and wrong, bad or good. Now, with Landmark, they don't want.
And then I don't even hear about the Bhagavad Gita until I'm 40 or 41 years old. Versus I got the forum at 22. So what do you want me to live my whole life not knowing about the Bhagavad Gita? And I don't know how to say that correctly. Bhagavad Gita. I've only seen it spelled that one time in that video that I watched, but anyway. So you want me to go those 20 years still suffering with stuff? No, I just want to get it. Just hang out with me for the weekend. Let me listen. If I want to raise my hand and talk, I can. But let me listen to this stuff for the weekend, get everything I need to get, and then if I want to go read those books later, I can go do that. But like, are you gonna give me a reading list of books? No, just freaking let's talk together for one weekend for your entire rest of your life, and then you already have all the knowledge that's in those books, but you didn't have to spend hours reading those books, interpreting those books by yourself, or go interpreting those books with other people that also don't know exactly what the meaning of life is. So therefore, you're all kind of blind leading the blind.
Want to mention Buddhism because they know that it will provoke a lot of Christians. Because to a lot of Christians, it's about good and bad, right and wrong. So they
Yeah, I mean, Buddhism isn't a religion, it's like spirituality. I mean, you can absolutely be a Christian and be Buddhist at the same time. There's nothing that they're hiding Buddhism because it'll upset Christians. It's like,
and
no, it's not whatsoever. This is what all humans have in common. This isn't,
2 to 3 hours talking, explaining and getting you to understand that there is no right or wrong. They just didn't want to have
It's not that there isn't a right or wrong. There is a word right and a word wrong and an association and definitions behind those words. It's just that that right and wrong, good and bad, true and false, fact and fiction all land in that sea of opinions. So they don't actually produce any actual things, right? This was produced um by taking action. Someone took a bunch of actions, made the bottle, made the apple cider vinegar, made the top, created the grocery store, created the shipping necessary to get it to the grocery store. Um, those are the things that are real. Good and bad, right and wrong, they're not really real. They're something that can be good to some person. One man's trash is another man's treasure. So how can it be good? How can
We're right in the
it's
classroom. Okay, so let's moving on. Let's
he said the word classroom. Um this is not like education, it's not a class, it's a conversation. It's just 75, 200 people all having a conversation.
they alluded to certain aspects of our own existence, and they basically don't use words like this, existentialist or existentialism, but they dance around it and they get people to think. And again, they have parrot.
Yeah, because it's not existentialism. That is yeah, it's a philosophy or whatever it is. Sociology, whatever, but it's not what the forum is. Yeah, there's like an aspect of that idea, like we had to go there to get here. So by like understanding existentialism, it makes it a little bit simpler to understand this stuff, but it's they're not teaching to be existentialists. So that's a distinct philosophy that's not.
Paradigm shifts, and you can see people's eyes with glee saying, "Oh my God, this is also new for me." Well, guess what? Kierkegaard wrote about this from a long time ago, and it's in the field of existentialism. So here, I'll provide a link below. Later on, they talk about authenticity and inauthenticity of living your life inauthentically. I believe there was one section in which there's a tendency for us to look good in the eyes of others and avoid looking bad. Well, again, this is not new material. Nietzsche was, or Nietzsche was the big proponent.
Bro, are you looking good and avoiding looking bad right now in this video? Like, so just because somebody wrote about it doesn't mean that most humans do that thing that somebody wrote about. It's like,
Of this, and he was obviously very vocal about the
like, I don't know. We've got to where we want, where we've got in life, like in the world. Like, we've moved the ball forward as a society. There's no longer like, some of the issues we dealt with in the 12 or 1900s or whatever still happening, whatever 400s BC, whatever you want to talk about. Um, so clearly this writing didn't make the difference that it needed to. However, it did make a difference that then went ahead and someone else took that writing and sat down with another 100 people and worked it out so that it really works for everybody. And like, here's the one little inkling of Nietzsche that contributes to us getting why we're here and what our life is for.
yeah, the Christian tendency to try to look good. Anyway, I won't go through the material. But it's all there. Oh, before I forget, here is a YouTube section of if you wanted to learn about the great thinkers like Kierkegaard, Plato, Socrates, Nietzsche, that has been they didn't reference it. That's the problem. This is a great site because it explains it very, very concisely in a very nice graphic way, animated way, I guess. It's called the School of Life, and I always frequent that site. So instead of paying a lot of money to get material on content, here's a great site, and it's easy to understand.
Yeah, I just say it's an investment. I mean, if you don't have the 915 now, no big deal. It's $200 to register, save up 10% of your income and put it away, and that'll take however long it takes. Knock wood, it doesn't take any time, and you can put the money down on a card and pay the card off this month. Um, or it might take freaking, I don't know, 2 years. If it takes you more than 3 years to save up $915, I mean, that just seems like it's you don't yet get the 10% of the income from richest man in Babylon. Um And yeah, no one's pressuring anybody to do anything. It's just like if you could go ahead and make way more money after you do the forum just because of like your yeah, I mean, I gave up being right. You want to be right or you want to be wealthy? You want to be right or you want to be healthy? You want to be right or you want to be happy? And to that's all I have to say about that. And if this stuff worked, people would be already doing it.
Um, they also talk about fear and anxiety quite a bit. Whereas, oh, there it is, freedom from anxiety, and that's on day 2 and day 1. They actually talk about anxiety. That's all.
Please tell me what book I can read that's gonna get me free from anxiety for the rest of my life. Oh my gosh. Um, this is like the least the distinction that I'm like least able to communicate. Something to the effect of we like have it like it's my anxiety, like it's like a thing I can touch that I have, that I hold, that it's mine, that something chemically is in my brain that is making me anxious, and I'm just been dealt with that card in life. And when we create it as something that I can hold, like this is anxiety, it has a whole life of its own, and it can be have an immense amount of power over people's lives. And once I was able to see that anxiety isn't a real thing, it's
Part
not,
of Kierkegaardian.
it's just part of being human. I was like, oh wow, everybody everybody has anxiety. It's just like how much do I like let it create its own life?
Existence. Okay,
Yeah.
existentialism, which is basically inherent in our existence. But another area, a well-known psychologist talked about anxiety is Eric Fromm, Escape from Freedom. It's a very good book, and how we relinquish.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Between high school and college, I've read all of these works, and I did not have any of the level of freedom. I thought I was uh not that attractive, so I only talked to ladies that either talked to me or that I didn't think were super highly attractive. Um and the ones that were super highly attractive that talked to me, I like rejected them and was like too scared to ask them out because I thought I would like look bad. I overwhelmed people with too much of what I wanted. I mean, it could still fall into those traps. I just catch myself a lot more after the forum than before. And after the forum, I'm just like a lot happier because I'm not like in my head, like subconsciously psyching myself out of stuff, whether it be business or um, anything.
Our freedom to make different choices that we have because we fear. Uh, so it prevents you from seeing your possibilities. And they go on again for 2 3 hours. It gets pretty boring because the material is right there before I got there. So I'll put the links below. And authenticity, also, you can't talk about existentialism and authenticity without talking about, I believe it's Heidegger, Martin Heidegger. So I'll leave a link below, being and time, Um, another section that I think people should be aware of is psychosynthesis. And Landmark never talks about these big words because
I don't know. You're getting into the word psycho here. It seems a little touchy. Landmark form is not psychological in nature at all. It's not psychiatry. So anything getting in the word of the psyche gets a little dicey because that's not really what it is. But
again, they
for what
cater to the people, the average layman, and they'll go to 2 or 3 hours about talking about these material that's actually available out there. So it is
yeah, and in the meantime, like there's a break from them talking and give me a chance to speak with the person sitting next to me, or not sitting next to me because now it's all done on Zoom, but they have breakout rooms so that everybody can say, hey, what are you hearing in this conversation? Share it with someone else, and everyone gets a chance to share if they want to. So it's not just them pounding you with information for hours. It makes it seem like it's like, I don't know.
good in
You're
that way that they're giving you content in a very simple way. But I really wish that they would reference their material. New possibilities, breakthrough results. Again, and this is escaping from freedom, from Eric Fromm.
and look, Heidegger and
Synthesis.
and Fromm and Socrates and Plato and Nietzsche and all these people, they got this stuff from somewhere too. They didn't just come up with it on their own. They read a lot, and talked to a lot of people, and then were able to take their findings, put it down in the historical record, and this is what life is. Look, there are so many books out there that I have to my disposal, and at yeah, I said it before, at some point, someone was going to put all that stuff together and make it so that it works for people.
Again, this is
By work for people, I mean so that you have a job that works for you, so you have a relationship that works for you, so you have a health plan that works for you, so you have finances that work for you.
related to identification, what you identify with. Okay. And Landmark goes through the trouble of having you identify what you think you are, your identification, certain things. For example, if you think you're a great husband, what happens when you get divorced? If you think you're a great father, well, what happens if your children die? If you are a millionaire, well, what happens when you lose your money? Again, these are layers of the onions in which you can peel off and get down to the bottom. And this is called basically a disidentification exercise. For many people, it's new material. And this is a great area to get started in reading about it. Throughout the entire course of Landmark, they seem to think that they can replace counseling, psychotherapy.
They don't think that. It just that's a result that 93% of people or more get out of the forum. So they're not saying you don't need psychotherapy or you don't need therapy. They're not saying any of that. It's just that when I'm free from anxiety, I don't now need to spend a lot of money on anti-anxiety pills and therapies and be the however I am with the anxiety. Like that can't really be a positive thing in any realm other than like protecting ourselves from danger. Um, like it really seems that that's what it was originally for, is to be able to not get killed. That's what the anxiety was for. And now that we live in a relatively safe world, I don't need to be thinking about getting killed all the time. So it's like, what do I do with that? And this is something to do with it. Give it up, let it
You know,
go.
and they think there's going to be a quick fix to all of this. In fact, there have been many cases.
I mean, look at the Matrix, Fight Club, even I don't know this, but it seems like Frozen, Let It Go. This is what it is. It's let go of the anxiety. You don't have to
In which
hold
they
on to it.
have, what do you call, dismissed the importance of feelings, and they will talk about you feel this way because you
They're not
have put a story behind.
dismissing the feelings. It's just that feelings are real feelings. They're just not real. It's not even you feeling. It's it feeling, consciousness feeling, and you have the feelings. It thinks and you have the thoughts. It believes and you have the beliefs.
An occurrence. Well, that's fine and dandy, and I believe that to be true. But then again, you don't dismiss people's feelings, and that can be very, very harmful. They're not doctors, and
Yeah, nobody's dismissing their feelings. I mean, if someone was watching from the outside, they would see the feeling almost immediately disappear because it was never real to begin with. And the only reason why it happened so fast and why you didn't catch on to it, maybe, is that that person was acknowledged. I'm feeling so sad. And the person that's training the room and listening to that other person that's feeling sad is just being with that sadness, not making it right or wrong, not doing anything with it, just acknowledging it, and bam, it goes away. And that's strange territory for people. Most people have never seen someone be sad and then go on to, being clearer and freer after like a 3-minute conversation. They're like, what? Wait, what? What? They were dismissed? No, they weren't dismissed. They weren't demeaned. They were left enhanced in results in their life.
none of them have a license to practice psychiatry. Um,
Yeah, because it's not psychiatry. And there are psychiatrists on the leader body, and psychologists, and physicians, and fine artists, and business executives, and
so for that matter, it could be very damaging. And as you well know,
not damaging whatsoever.
one of the most basic oaths healthcare professionals have to.
And if you read negative stuff online about the forum, remember that if you're putting out of business a big pharma or a therapy or another religious sect that people feel free to stay and empower or walk away from their choice. I mean, this the forum only brought me closer to God and Jesus and the Bible, so I'm not. It's not religious in any realm whatsoever. Um, but by no means would someone lose their religion because of the forum. I mean, you would think you would only become closer to it if you're religious. Um, and I was much more spiritual. I didn't really consider myself too religious. And then after years, 2 decades after I did the forum, I am like really seeing a lot of things that I never saw before. Um,
Take is do no harm. Well, these guys are not healthcare professionals, and I assure you,
what's funny
I
is you're
guarantee you,
not
they could do harm.
a healthcare professional either. So you're a non-healthcare professional, a chemistry major, judging another organization saying that they're damaging and they're not healthcare professionals. It's like,
Because they think it's a quick fix. Um,
no,
they
it's
have no
not
idea
a it's not a quick
dealing
fix
with,
because
and
you're
some
not
of those people
broken.
could be really
So I don't know if you heard that. It's not a quick fix because you're not broken. It happens to produce massive, extraordinary results within 5 days, but that is not in any way a fix.
really disturbed, and they need professional help. So, for that matter,
If someone needs professional help, they should go get that professional help.
the other subject that, well, that's a big subject about accountability and responsibility. Um,
Yet they're like the most accountable and most responsible company and are leading the way for other companies to be accountable and responsible. Um, yeah, probably the most highest level of integrity that I've ever seen in any business ever.
but the other subject that they don't talk about, and it's not in the website, is they tear you down quite a bit and make you question how you perceive.
No, they're asking questions. If you want to take that question and make it seem like they're tearing you down, I mean, it's like they ask, what kind of a being is a human being? And you want to say that that is tearing you down? That is not tearing you down. It may be uncomfortable, it may be dismaying, um, but it is a very short period of time of that. It's like almost no time at all of being dismayed and uncomfortable. Maybe like little bits here and there. They ask you to register for the advanced course and you get a little uncomfortable there. I mean, that's meant for a reason. Like, um, you can be as skeptical as you want. You can be as uncomfortable as you want. But notice that you were asked and invited, and then you got that thing went off of like, oh, am I being sold to? No, no, no. We said, hey, in the advanced course, you're going to get the ACT test for reality. I don't know anybody that knows how to test for reality that hasn't done the forum. I know a lot of people that ask me, how do I know if something is real or not real, or true or not true?
Reality. Okay, I'd like to just summarize this real briefly, and if you have any questions about any particular,
If you have any questions, I, who have not done the forum, can answer them all. Please, come on, bro. I'm not coming at you either. It's
content in their site,
just you have nothing to, you have 5 days and $915 before discount to lose by doing this. It's like that is nothing in the grand scheme of life, and you would never regret it. It would never be like in a world full of copies and fakes and frauds and phonies. This is the real deal, and it's not the one thing.
leave a comment.
After the forum, I got into all kinds of other things to answer the questions that I had about my life or what I want or anything like that. It's not like I got that stuff out of it. I just wasn't held back by 12-year-old Lee and was able to then pick up books and absorb things that other people miss or are frustrated so they don't hear them or whatever it is. Oh, and then the other feedback I got is like, oh, I'm like relatively happy and I don't really need to deal with my day-to-day concerns. It's like, I'm sorry. I don't know who told you that. I never said, I may have said that I'm happier afterwards. I may have said that I am free from dealing with, I guess you could call anxiety a frustration. I don't know. I didn't have it like it was a frustration or I wasn't happy. I had it before the forum that I'm relatively pretty got my life together and I'm pretty happy and I was raised with great parents and all that. Um, I didn't have it that I was unhappy or frustrated by things. I don't know. I never had anybody talk to me the way this way before, and I get very upset when I learn things that I didn't already know that I see errors and mistakes I made in the past and so forth, and I'm like, oh wow, if I'd only known this stuff 20 years earlier. I mean, I didn't learn it at 22, but even in the advanced course, I didn't take it for another few years after the forum. But okay, so if I only wish I had known this like 5 years earlier or whatever. I mean, 5 years is a lot of time, a lot of mistakes that I made. That I'm like, oh man, I wish like someone had told me this when I was 18. Um, but anyway.
But this is probably the section that's most disturbing and alarming.
Integrity is the most disturbing and alarming. Bro.
They'll spend, I don't know, it seems like 3 4 hours on the word integrity, making the good choices and doing the right thing. It's like, oh well, who doesn't
Would take the definition that
have
they
integrity, right? So, but it's a lot deeper than that. Being true to oneself, again, that has something to do about being authentic. Doesn't want to have integrity, right? So, but it's a lot.
the definition that they are having for integrity is just full workability. Um, it's not about doing the right thing. I don't know what else he said there. Um, it's a whole new level of integrity. It's like people have this heavy thought of what integrity is, but that's not really what they're talking about. What they're talking about is more relating to, I don't know, what it is that I want. So I wanted the woman of my dreams. I wanted the job of my dreams. I wanted the seven streams of income. And it would become an integrity issue with me if I didn't have those things. So it's not like I was out of integrity when I didn't have those things. It was just like, I don't even know how to explain it. That's why I say you can't explain it. But it's like, I don't know, just willing to put in the work necessary, like to be able to achieve those things. I've worked on an hourly wage 5 years, 6 years of my entire life. I'm 42, so that means what 20 years of work? No, or 30 years of work, really. 30 years of work minus six. Um, yeah, I mean, it was kind of like trying to run my own business when I was 12. So, 30 years of work minus six is 20. So 24 years, I only got paid on stuff that I sold. Um, and I pride myself on ethical sales with integrity. I've walked away and canceled deals that were already done because I didn't think it would be the best decision for that person. Like I used to raise a gas bill by lowering an electric bill, which like if you thought 10 years ago the gas prices would go up and like I hadn't worked with that client in years, so I don't know, maybe they did go up crazy high. Maybe it was a better deal to do that then, to price protect themselves. But I would come across these brownstones in New York City that use a lot of gas, and I was basically doubling their gas bill. So maybe they would have been price protected by doing it, but I was like, nah, like I did the math, it doesn't seem to work, canceled the gas account, and the person would never know that I canceled their gas account. They'd just be getting their gas from PSE&G and their electric from um who was it, Direct Energy or APG&E or whoever we represented. Um anyway. So yeah, I pride myself on doing sales with integrity.
A lot deeper than that. Being true to oneself, again, that has something to do about being authentic. Um, bottom line here, you'll discover that integrity resides in the ability to constitute yourself as your word, to be true to your principles, and ultimately to be true to yourself. Well, they forget the fact that who you are does change over time. So and when they talk about possibility,
Oh, it's so judgy. It's so wild. It's like all these things are great, but word is bond, but it's like, bro, chill out. It's not what you think it is.
changing your possibilities and creating freedom in your life. Well, that means it's a very dynamic thing. It's not a static thing, you know? Who you want to be, who you were 10 years ago is not who you are now. So there is an inner voice that what you said a long time ago, you can change yourself. So they never really address the fact that we are not static human beings, okay? But that's not the bothering part. That's not the troublesome part. I will refer you to
They never really address that we're static human, that we're not static human beings. You know, I'd say that they do. They say all we have is now, and you're not a fixed thing. A human being is not a fixed doing. You're not a human doing. You're a human being, and that evolves moment by moment by moment by moment by moment. Um, I can recreate myself in any moment. So they, yes, they do cover that you are not a static being.
this article in the Huffington Post because I think it summarizes pretty much what I'm going to cover here. Here, I'll just read this. Throughout the program, one must have integrity and honor one's word. Cannot help but make anyone feel like a better person. So where's the rub? Why are they subject to lawsuits and claims of being a cult? The common criminal aspect of landmarks insistence on this methodology. It's precisely that its insistence on its methodology. I clocked 2 hours the first day devoted to spreading the word of landmark forum as a sign of participants to sign integrity. If they had integrity, they would, like Martin Luther King and Gandhi, take courage to spread the belief of landmark forum to all their friends, enroll them in their.
Yes, they are taking the way of Martin Luther King or Gandhi. They are not pressure or selling or anything like that. If you got that opinion or feeling from it, I get it. It's valid, and it wasn't ever the intention. Their only intention is, yes, exactly like you're saying, inspiring and then inviting, and then if someone says no, being with that no, and really just being with that person and being with them, finding out more about them, breaking bread with them, learning about what it is that they want. Not in order to have them sign up for this, but you know, it's just if they're a no, they're probably a no because I didn't really listen to them or show them I was listening to them or show them with what they wanted and how the distinctions would result in them getting what they want. And a lot of what Mahatma Gandhi did and Martin Luther King did is doing violence to what you already know. So if you're not willing to do violence to the things that you already know to be true, then you are actually the antithesis. You're going against the teachings of Martin Luther King and Mahatma Gandhi.
Now, this word enroll is heavy. In fact,
yeah, I mean, you put the heaviness onto the word enroll. Enroll just means to inspire, to touch someone, to move someone, not physically touch, but you know, like, oh, I'm touched that you would acknowledge the hard work that I've done. Um, all the sacrifice and money and time and everything that mom put into your birthday. Um, you know, let's have gratitude and let's be thankful for mommy for doing all that stuff that she did. Just as an example.
Landmark relies on obsessed volunteers to run it.
Obsessed. If you were obsessed with your own life and getting the money you want, the relationship you want, the home life you want, the career you want, the etc. that you want, the faith that you want, the heaven on earth that you want, whatever it is, I don't remember what he was talking. Oh, obsessed. Yeah, I'm not. Sorry if you want to take the word obsessed out of me getting what I want out of life and having it at 42 as opposed to waiting or having it at freaking yeah, at 42. I mean, whatever. I had it that weekend, really. I didn't have the $1 million right away in my bank account the week after I took it. But I realized what was in the way of me getting that, and I don't know, I wouldn't call any of that obsessed. And if I got that stuff and I want to share it with you, I mean, how is that obsession? Me wanting you to want what you want? I mean, this is just getting a little ridiculous. I only want what you want. I have no agenda other than, hey, the forum is asks a lot of questions that give you insights, that then give you answers, that then produce results. That is the highest form
Why
of
inspires
listening.
upper middle class people around the world at $700 a weekend? It's only
Upper middle. Yeah. I mean, look, it just happens to be, I mean, like poor people might not necessarily have the 915 around. So yeah, if they're middle class or wealthy, it's because they have the time to take a Friday, Saturday, Sunday to do this and the money to do it. And yeah, worth every penny. So
for those with means, not only to enroll, but to continue taking classes, which oddly enough get more expensive.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they did suggest three courses, and now they only suggest the two, the form and the advanced course. If you want to do more on any of the different subjects that they cover, leadership, money, relationships, uh, wisdom, then you can do those things. But no, it's not like, oh, you got to take the next course now. Oh, you got to take the next course now. Like, it's just, no, it was never that. I mean, I suggested my friend do the three courses that I did originally,
And now,
until I realized, oh, wow,
the
they're only
enrolling part is if
suggesting
you
two
if you
now.
want to be a genuine person or have integrity, they brainwash you to believe that enrolling others is part of your integrity. And I don't get that. So participants have heard the argument drone in their ears for 9 hours in a period of 72, began to cheer and smile as they raised their hands to say they too had the courage to stand for the forum. This was brainwashing. Now, personally, I have two friends that I have seen. Uh,
Um, okay, so not brainwashing whatsoever. You'd actually be more free to freely think on your own than you ever have been. Um, for most people, confidently say that. And I don't know what he was talking about before because I was pausing this thing, but yeah, man, it's just wild that people try to talk about stuff that they don't know about. That's not trying to come down on them at all. It's just like, bro, like you can't review a book or a restaurant without actually going there.
I've seen them get brainwashed, and I feel bad for them. I
You've seen them get brainwashed. What happened? What exactly happened? No, it's just that I'm not hung up on my feelings or my anxiety anymore. So that's whatever. If you have to brainwash me to be more free, I don't, that's not brainwashing. That is literally the opposite of force. Power is the negation of force. Power is actually freedom, power, autonomy, authority over your own self. No one has authority over you. Um, and I would say that a lot of people feel they have no authority in a certain situation. And then after the forum, I found out that oh wait, I do actually have authority in this situation, or I could
I attended the
create the
class, and
authority.
when I saw the brainwashing, it was readily apparent. But for some, it is not. So that is my word of caution. The material is good content, but
I would say that you are brainwashed to think negative things about the forum based on this one Huffington Post article and the fact that you were able to take their syllabus and break it down and find out the origin of their syllabus. That is brainwashing that you think you already know what's in it.
it's content that you can have on your own. But they do explain it rather easily, and rather than using big words
And I believe this HuffPost article turned out fairly positive despite their criticisms.
like those psychosynthesis. Um, but
If there were even criticisms, you might even be taking this article and just making it mean what you want it to mean.
I don't like their brainwashing, and in a way, plagiarize.
I don't like their brainwashing or plagiarizing. They're not plagiarizing and they're not brainwashing. Please stop saying things that you don't know that you don't know.
And I do think that they can do harm.
It's no big deal if you're watching this video now and you didn't know those things. When was this recorded? And now 9 years ago, and you can still be skeptical. You can still ask all the questions in the world that you want. I just ask that you be open. That is it.
Because they think that they can replace professional.
No, they're not trying to replace anything. Enhance it results wise. I mean, how crazy would it be if a therapist could get someone like massive results in like one session and doing the forum, and then that person doesn't need to go back to that therapist. Well, that therapist has a new problem there, which is, oh wow, I am allowing people to not be recurring customers of mine. Um, so yeah, just new challenge there. And make your money as a therapist and get some sort of other certification so that you can make other money elsewhere. Maybe a therapist realize that it doesn't have integrity to have people come back for 6 months or years on end. Maybe it has ultimate integrity to cause that person to be free from their anxiety within weeks of meeting you. And then maybe they refer you to 50 other people that increase your income. I mean, there are so many ways to make way more money by doing things with integrity as opposed to just a monthly customer, and you don't have to really work hard for
help
them.
some of these people that are having struggling with certain issues. So have a blessed day. I hope that I was of help to somebody.
Yeah, people are if you find out that like world peace is really possible and this could be the exact way to cause that, the problem that I then see is, wow, how do I cause other people to see what I saw? So that's the only problem now is how do I communicate this stuff so that people can see what's possible for their life? Um,
I guess I'm being authentic.
yeah, I mean, maybe you are being authentic. I would say that generally you are being inauthentic about your inauthenticity. Um, that you're pretending. And look, if you don't want to hear it straight, then no big deal. You don't have to. But the fact is, you put this out public, so I'm gonna publicly state that it seems like you didn't know that you didn't know that you were pretending to know about what was discussed in the forum. And by pretending to know what you really don't know that you don't know, you're coming off as that's not you. Being a know-it-all, being a prejudger, if that's even a word, holding prejudice to something based off something you read as opposed to the hundreds of thousands of views that are on the videos that are positive about the forum. You want to read an article in the Huffington Post, which I believe again came out. Let's see if we can pull this up. Um, in a fairly positive light, as did I don't remember if it was the New York Times, Condé Nast. They've all reviewed it, and they all thought it was going to be something, and then realized that it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. And I believe this HuffPost article is from the 2010s. Personal development seminar for its intensive, transformative weekend format. I mean, nothing wrong with that. Personal development, intensive, and transformative weekend. I mean, did you think that transformation wasn't going to be intensive? Did you think it was just going to be easy? From some posts raising its effectiveness in creating shifts in self-understanding and action, like empowering leadership. This is all positive so far. To look at it, oh, if it did post this, that is so bad. No, maybe you took it as bad, but because of the word intensive, and then you made that mean like something. Anyway, other articles often offer critical. So, what did they did more than one article? Has it has featured articles. Other articles offer critical or observational takes, detailing intense, again, criticism, while valid criticism is not real. It's real to that person. But that's it. So you're now sharing your opinion and spreading the thing that wasn't real to millions of other people. Anyway. Observational takes detailing intense experiences, participant stories of breakthrough or disappointment, Yeah, I'd say it'd be past disappointment. It's not disappointment about the forum. And the unique, sometimes challenging communication style used in the program, highlighting its powerful yet polarizing nature. It's not polarizing. It's just that if people that it just causes competitors to lose money. That's the only thing polarizing about it. Sorry, you don't like competition. Um, okay, so key aspect, intensive, 3.5 days. So your definition of intensive is 3.5 days. You're gonna live 120 years, knock wood. And you think that 3.5 days of it is intensive? Try to go to the rest of your life with resentment, regret, and anxiety. Or even freaking a year with anxiety, resentment, and regret on anything at all. It only holds you back. Anxiety, resentment, and regret. If you got it about anybody, about anything, then it is holding you back. Pure end of story. No conversation about it. No, that person is right and you're wrong. No, it's just like give up the resentment, regret, and anxiety. And what am I left with? Nothing. What can I do with nothing? Anything. Okay, transformational goals. Rapid person transportation aims to, well, I wouldn't say it's goals necessarily, aims to help people move from who they are by chance to who they are by who they want to be by choice. Yes. Impacting relationships, career, and overall life. I don't see anything negative about this Huffington Post article at all, bro. And again, I'm not reading the article, I'm reading a summation of it by, I don't know, Gemini AI or whatever, but curriculum for living. They got rid of the curriculum for living. Form is the introductory course, in a larger program teaching and distinct. I mean, it's just the form of the advanced course, two different courses, 5 days each, 4.5 days each, and 9.15 each before discounts. Communication and language teaches specific distinctions like rackets. A racket is a persistent complaint or winning formulas to understand life patterns and communicate differently. I wouldn't say it's differently because that'd be comparing it to something else. It's communicating effectively, efficiently, workably for anybody else who you're communicating with. Polarizing experiences. Some find it profoundly life-changing, leading to breakthroughs and new actions, while others find it intense. The intensity is doesn't last more than 3.5 days. It's not all intense. Some of it is, I don't know. Uh, like yeah, you can't say the full 3 days is in time. Okay. Cult-like, it is not cult-like by any definition whatsoever. Um, and that's not me telling you how to think. That's me saying go see for yourself, and you'll see that it's not. And uh, and you can send me the definition of cult that you're concerned about, but I guarantee you it's like literally the exact opposite of that. It's like you very American Constitution and nature, freedom declaration, like autonomy over self, freedom, authority over yourself, no authority over you. Um, so if you want to call it a cult of Lee Tyler, because it's mine, and I like, but that's me, and like you watching this, it would be a cult of you. Like, what's this guy's name? Nice grin with no picture. Okay, bro. Like, it'd be like the cult of nice grim. So it'd be the cult of you, but it's like nobody else is following you. Like I never like so I did the form with one trainer and then the advanced course with another trainer. I've never seen those people ever again after that one weekend. Cults take you away from your family. Landmark says, go, be with your family. Who are you thinking of right now? Call it, maybe you want to call that person. Or simply ineffective. No, I mean 93% effectiveness rate is not ineffective. Like how can you call 93% satisfaction effectiveness rate? I made a profound and lasting difference on the way that I live my life, but it was ineffective. It wasn't even ineffective for that 7% of people. That 7% of people just didn't say that it made a profound and lasting difference on the way they live their life. That 7% of people just said, no, it didn't make a profound and lasting difference on the way I live my life, or I don't know, or I don't want to answer, or whatever. Um, and guaranteed years and years later, that person did make a profound and lasting difference on the way they live their life. If they are, giving up them being right in exchange for workability for them and for other people. Like if you want to fight your way through life, then yeah, I mean it's not gonna make a profound and lasting difference the way you live your life. But it's something I really need to remember. Like getting in arguments sometimes, and sometimes I don't notice it right away. But when I do notice it, and I am able to catch myself, and maybe it happens after the argument, but I'm still able to catch myself and realize how ridiculous it was, and I kind of laugh to myself, like I could do that again. Let me stick to things that we can get you what you want out of life, so you don't have to be making decisions out of what happened to you when you were 12 or 18 or whatever. Um, anonymous bloggers shared their own intense, sometimes critical, surprised experiences, noting the emotional sharing and coaching style. It's not emotional. It's not like you may be emotional. Like I find things funny, or sometimes things are moving, but I don't have that as a bad emotion. I have that as a like inspiring emotion. Um, but yeah, it's nothing to do with emotions. They just show you that emotions are also in that sea of opinions that don't actually make any difference. Like my emotions aren't going to create the apple cider vinegar. It was actions, only actions. Landmark leader appeared on Huffington Post Live to discuss topics like financial literacy. It's like it was intense, but they wanted to talk about financial literacy. It's like it's so wild. I'm really good. Oh, it's so great, it's so great, it's so great, but it's so great, it's so great, it's so great. However, it's like maybe it's just something that's effective for people. Okay, financial literacy, business and personal growth articles highlighted how companies used it for team building and individuals used it to achieve ambitious goals. In essence, the HuffPost served as a platform for both proponents and observers. Yeah, bro, I don't know where you got the word brainwashing out of this, but yeah. Again, I wouldn't call being more free a brainwashing. If you want to, it's, it's brain freeing. It's like a completely different stuff. Anyway, I hope you have the best day ever. Peace out. Love. Make something happen. If you haven't, call up the forum. They'll leave a message, return your call. They'll return your call and yeah, ask them what it's about, how it works. Ask them all the questions you want. Bye-bye.